Hello, hello, and welcome. It's so good to have you here. My name is Ishani Way, and this is the Tarot Talk Therapy podcast, The Revamp. And this is episode 2. It's my second week sitting down with you guys to do a weekly check-in. And while I do say that this is, a therapy session for myself, I know that if you were called to click on this video, if you were called to listen to this podcast, that this weekly check-in will resonate with you in some way as well. Now, after we get through the therapy session itself, we will be doing some pulls from Oracle cards to get a collective message for everyone. So I definitely hope that you stick around. I hope that you enjoy, and definitely leave your feedback in the comments if things do resonate with you. If things just hit, definitely let me know in the comments, okay? So what we will be doing first is rolling for our Intuit digit, as well as our universal and personal chakras. So these will be giving us themes around what this week has been reminding us of, what this week has been calling our attention to. And let's go ahead and start off with the Intuit digit. So this will be a number from 1 to 9, and essentially it will provide us with a numerological snapshot of the energy. So let's see what Intuit digit is related to us in this moment. Okay, we have 5. So the number 5 is all about change in numerology. This is about, it can be sudden changes, it can be unexpected change, but it's change nonetheless. It is also about adaptability, being able to handle and kind of like roll with the punches in a sense. It's definitely all about encouraging you to remain flexible and to kind of like have a sense of grace when it comes to the changes that will be arising in your life, especially since some of them may be unexpected. We have to have this sense of self-control in order for us to remain steadfast in what we are doing while I apologize, I'm using a microphone this time. Hopefully that the quality of audio is better, but please, I will try my best not to touch it. But back to the number 5, it's all about us being able to keep ourselves steady while we are faced with the changes externally. Now, also, we can be experiencing some internal changes as well. And I know for myself that I have been, one thing that I've definitely been doing lately that has been changing and improving my internal energy is listening to affirmations. I have been using an app called Parrot. It is available on the Apple Store, and I believe it's on Google Play as well. And it is an app that allows you to record anything that you want, honestly. But it will play back automatically on a loop. So, excuse me. So I've been using this when it comes to engaging with my affirmations. I will record a slew of affirmations at one time, and then what I've been doing is listening to it as I start to fall asleep. It does have a sleep timer on there as well, so if you are going to be listening to it as you're falling asleep, you can actually set it up to where it only plays for an hour, it only plays for 30 minutes, or it only plays for 15. Now, it does have, of course, several different time selections that you can choose from, but Parrot has definitely been helping me when it comes to keeping my vibration high, I'll say that, and just improving my internal speak around some of the aspirations that I have, some of the goals that I have, and also just the deservingness of it all. So I like to see that the number 5 came out, because it's nice to know that the work that I am doing, the work that we are doing, is actually bringing about some sort of change. So I'm glad to see this. Let's go ahead and get our personal and universal chakras. So these will be the energy centers, the personal being the energy center within your own auric field, so within your space, and the universal chakra is the energy center that the universe is essentially pulling from or working from with engaging with us. Okay, so let's get the personal and universal chakras now. Okay, we have for the personal chakra we have 10, and for the universal chakra we have the ninth. So sometimes, of course, a majority of people only really know about the first seven chakras that are within your actual body. So the ninth chakra is actually located an arm's length above your head. This is considered to be your like direct connection to universal energy, creator energy, and also your higher self in a sense. And then with the 10th chakra, this is actually located, I believe it's 3 feet beneath you. So, like beneath your feet, rooted into the ground, is where your 10th chakra is located. And this is actually a chakra that is um, related to your ancestral connection and your ancestral energy. Being that it is, coming from the earth, this is where our ancestors reside when they've been buried after they pass. And so the 10th chakra is a major root chakra. You can almost think of it as, and we're able to channel a bit more of our ancestral energy through this chakra. So with these two coming up, with the personal chakra, it's bringing call to our attention to strengthen our connections to our ancestors. Now, this can also be, or one thing I want to say is that when it comes to the personal and universal chakras, these can be coming up because they may be either overactive currently in our in our energy, or they may be underactive. So an example of the 10th chakra being overactive is almost having a sense of like desperation or neediness when it comes to your ancestors. So potentially feeling as though like you need to like solely rely on them, that you can't uh engage or act without any sort of guidance from your ancestors, or feeling almost too rooted, if that makes sense. So feeling almost stuck in a particular space or within a particular energy. Now, with it being underactive, you may have a bit of a lack of communication or connection with your ancestors. You might feel less rooted and feel a bit almost like in the clouds in a sense. You might feel like almost untethered from the earth. It might feel like you're almost floating through life, and that you almost feel as though you aren't fully present within your your energetic space. Now, to balance the 10th chakra, you would of course engage in a healthy relationship with your ancestors, while of course requesting or praying to them with your concerns or requests for support, while also being able to be open to receiving the information and the guidance that they are due to provide, and also being able to, kind of still make your own decisions independently while remaining open and seeking the guidance and the messages that your ancestors are providing to you. Now, when it comes to the universal chakra with the ninth, this is saying that the universe is engaging with us to remind us and show us how we are connected to the bigger picture, how we are connected to the universe as a whole, right? And this may be overactive where we almost feel like we are, just a blip in which technically we are, but you might feel a bit as though the world is so big or the universe is so big that you are now insignificant. Or if it is underactive, you kind of might actually have a bit of a like um more a smaller worldview, or a more what's the word, um a very like individualized view when it comes to your engagement or your role in the world. You might almost feel like the world revolves around you. With this being in balance, you will see that you will have this understanding that while yes, you are, a divine being, you are an extension of God on earth, you are also simply a piece of the puzzle. You are an operator that is, you know, moving the energy of the universe along to create the abundance and the love and the life that God creator intended for us to create on this earth. So what I'm feeling is that the sort of like axis that we have with the 10th and ninth chakras here, with the ninth again being arm's length above our head to the 10th being a few feet beneath us, it is almost like we are being called to truly like just to truly connect through all of our energy centers, and truly gain a sense of not only groundedness, but also uh, the word that came to mind was brevity, but I'm not sure if that's the word that I actually want to use. Um, Loftiness almost. Like being grounded in, of course, our physical nature, our our human limitations, while also recognizing and feeling the spiritual and energetic presence that is also within us, and that is also engaging through the world, through the universe. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with these two. Whoops. That's what I'm getting with these two dice right now. I think it's very interesting with these two coming up. So let's go ahead and now get into the cards. So we're going to start off with the uh sorry, the major arcana. I'm trying my best to reduce my ums and uhs, so that's why I pause and just become quiet. See? Sorry. But we're going to start off with the major arcana. This is going to give us a landmark, essentially. It's going to tell us where we are as a full and I keep using the word theme, but that's what it is. A full overview of where we are energetically. I need to work on it during this week. Okay, so let's go ahead and shuffle. I will say that I do, when I separate the cards, I do flip everything right side up. But I do also read the reversals if they end up showing themselves or being pulled in a reverse, okay? And of course, depending upon the card, a reversal can indicate a blockage of an energy, or it can actually even, again, depending on the card, it can show the release of a blockage. So let's go ahead and see what major arcana is related to us this week, or this past week. Okay. Ooh, we have the Magician. That's great to see. So, with the Magician, we have been entering into our alchemical energy. We have been taking a sense of responsibility when it comes to where we are in life and where it is that we want to go and how we want to get there. We are recognizing that we have a bit more power than we've been letting off or uh, believing that we have. We've been recognizing that we we are stronger. Confirmation verb. We are stronger, and we are notification confirmation, but we are stronger than what we thought we were. We are seeing the different ways in which our power is able to express itself. We are seeing the ways that we are able to make things happen in our lives and to be successful at it as well. I do want to say that some of us may be a bit, I want to say like shy or just reserved when it comes to stepping into our magician power. And granted, I will say that as someone that may have not really had this understanding or may not have felt safe enough, because that was one thing that we talked about last week, not feeling safe enough to even step into our power. It can be a little bit difficult to it can be a little bit difficult to keep in mind and to I'm sorry, I'm trying to make sure, okay, because these microphones have been charging for like a while, but they didn't indicate that they're at 100%, so I just want to be sure that the mic doesn't cut off on me in the middle of recording. So hopefully, maybe I should just hold it. This might be bad. Sorry. But it can be hard to realize that you've had more power than you realized. It can be hard to accept that we have had more control or we have had more power in a situation than we thought we did. And when we are now starting to feel safe and we are starting to feel capable, it can be a little difficult to shift the mindset once we come to this realization. So I will say that, especially with all of this yellow on the card, we are definitely being called to connect with our solar plexus and connect with our confidence, our self-worth, our willpower. We're being called to truly connect with our internal abilities so that we can utilize what we have and make the changes that we need to see. Again, that's where that 5 came in, okay? So now I'm going to clip you back on. Sorry. Now let's go ahead and we're going to pull from the staff's suit, and this will give us an idea of where we are in terms of our spiritual energy, in terms of our, again, willpower as well. The staffs is related to the element of fire. So this is where our passions are, where our skills are. So let's go ahead and see. And the minor arcana cards are a little bit tougher to shuffle since it's a less amount of cards, but we're going to make it work. So let's see which staff card represents our energy for this past week. Okay. All right, and we received the 9 of staffs in reverse. So what I'm getting with this in particular is that we have been, I'm actually kind of getting 2 things. So the first one being that we, or some of us, may be coming out of a defensive energy. As you can see on the card, the the person, if you're watching this on YouTube, the person is crouched down behind 8 other staffs that are standing and sort of like blocking him in. Now, with this coming up in the reverse, I was saying that some of us may be coming out of a defensive state. Again, as I stated before in the last episode, we were discussing how we are only just newly beginning to feel safe, like within our bodies, within our homes, within our own spaces. But what I'm also getting, and this is something that I've been hearing from a lot of different sources lately, excuse me, confirmation burp again. Some of us may actually need to work on our protection, our spiritual protection. This coming up in the reverse is saying that some of us may actually not have the protection that we need in place. Now, what I've been seeing lately is a lot of people discussing destiny swapping, life swapping, and also talking about how we need to accept and acknowledge that there are people in this world who wish us harm, who don't have our best interests at heart. It can be, especially as a spiritual person, and especially as, you know, a person of light, a person of, you know, of love. It can be hard almost to accept the fact that there are people who don't like us. There are people who intend, you know, negative energy toward us. Even what's funny is I had an evil eye bracelet remade. It had broke and I needed it to be fixed last week, actually the day that I recorded that last episode. And the next day, right after freshly being restrung, even with an additional bead of clear quartz and black tourmaline inclusions on the bracelet, I went to lay down and go to sleep, and I felt this hot poke in my left shoulder on my back. And as it pressed into my shoulder, as soon as it stopped, the new Nazar bracelet, the new Evil Eye bracelet, just popped on my wrist. Nothing tugged on it, nothing snagged it. Literally, I felt this hot press, this hot poke, and then suddenly, as soon as that stopped, the bracelet snapped. And that was the strangest thing that I've ever experienced. Now, it has been hard for me to even accept the fact that there are people who, again, don't have my best interest at heart. I think that I'm a pretty good person. I think that, you know, I always do my best to do good unto people and to do my best to reduce the harm that, you know, someone may experience. So it can be difficult for even me to accept the fact that there are quote unquote bad people or just darker people in the world, or even just within, you know, my realm of space. uh and I do feel like that instance of, you know, feeling literally something poking me to then the bracelet breaking, it's shown me that there is an entity, there is some sort of energetic presence that is trying to hinder the progress that I'm making, that is trying to hinder the improvements and the advancements that I am making. Now, granted, I in no way, shape, or form believe that whatever this entity may be or whomever these people may be that wish me, you know, no good, I don't believe that they're anywhere near strong enough to truly derail me, right? And I believe the same when it comes to you. I don't believe that there's any, just as the Bible says, no weapon formed against us shall prosper. Now, some of us may, you know, still end up getting nicked, you know, like some of us still may end up with a cut or a bruise through these spiritual warfares, but it is it is an inevitability that um, we will survive and that we will overcome whatever negative entity is trying to harm us. But in order to best protect ourselves, in order to essentially make that warfare as, I don't want to say necessarily like fair, but for us to be as prepared as possible, we need to do our part to protect ourselves. Now, how do we do this? We can do this through prayer. We can do this through petition. We can do this through meditation. There are a slew of ways, a plethora of ways for us to request and secure the protection, the spiritual protection from our ancestors, that 10th chakra, and also from the universe and the creator, that ninth chakra. So these are the ways that we can improve and establish a strong sense of spiritual protection so that we can even just feel more comfortable in being within our magician energy. Okay, so that's what I'm getting with the staffs. Next, let's go ahead and get a card from the coins suit. This is going to talk about our resources. This is going to talk about our finances, our career, where we are with that. The material or the materials that we have. Let's go ahead and see. All right. What coins card is related to this past week for myself and the collective? And the reason why I consider this to be a therapy session is because we're going over all the different aspects of our lives. So we're going over, again, that major theme. We're going over the energetic or spiritual side of things. And now we will be getting into our physical side of things. So let's go ahead and see. And then we will continue with our emotional, with the cups, relationships. And then finally with the swords, we'll be getting our mentality, our engagement with conflict, and things of that nature. Now, great, we received the King of Coins for our coin suit. So what I'm getting with this is we are gaining a greater sense of control and a greater sense of maturity when it comes to our resources. I'm about to burp, sorry. Our resources and our finances. Now, there we go. I apologize. It's only ever when I'm talking a lot or doing these readings that all these burps come up. I promise you. Like, if you were to just be with me in silence, doing our thing, I'm not burping this much. But they serve a purpose, okay? I apologize. But with the King of Coins, this is saying to me that we have been, or that we are gaining, like I said, that sense of control, that sense of maturity, that sense of security when it comes to our finances. Now, this can be something that we have been just coming into, or that we will be coming into very soon. With the King of Coins also, there's a sense of, like, there's an air of peace. There is a sense of feeling as though all is taken care of. There is a sense of feeling that we are capable of handling our resources, of maintaining stability for our finances, for showing up and truly, doing the work required in our career. It's a sense of feeling just capable. Like with that king energy, it's truly being able to feel as though you are, and I don't want to curse necessarily, but that you got your ish together, right? And almost even just look again, if you're on YouTube, look at just how the king is almost like slumped in his throne. Like, he just looks so he looks so relaxed. Like, he looks like he has no care in the world because he knows that his kingdom is taken care of. He knows that anything that were to arise, he has the what's the word? He has things in place to handle any sort of issue that may arise. He has the arsenal to handle any sort of, unexpected unexpected change. Again, with that number 5, he has things in place. He has a a reserve. He has a sense of true knowledge and understanding of what his resources are and how to allocate them. There we go. That's what I'm getting with the King of Coins. Okay, this is really good to come into, because I will say that I have I have been struggling with my finances. I even mentioned, last week that Ally has had my back with their $100 overdraft thing. And sure enough, this week I also used it even sooner than I wanted to. And I don't want to get into that. I hate capitalism, but alas. But now let's go ahead and we're going to pull for the cup suit. So where are we in terms of our emotions? Where are we in terms of our relationships? So let's see. What cups card relates to us for this past week? Okay. Okay. We have the King of Cups in reverse. Okay. So what I am getting with this, one thing that is being sort of brought to my attention, or that I'm being drawn to, is the balance of, again, if you're on YouTube, the balance of the yellow and blue on the card. Now, this did come up in the reverse. So what this almost is saying to me is that, again, that yellow represents our solar plexus chakra, which is, again, our self-confidence, our self-worth. The blue represents our throat chakra. So being able to speak with clarity, speak with honesty, to be able to express ourselves as authentically as possible. Now, with this King of Cups in the reverse, one thing that's coming to me is that potentially we may have been feeling a bit out of control or without control around our emotions or around our relationships. I had actually done a collective reading on TikTok just the other day, and the Cups card that came up was the Two of Cups in reverse. And that, what I was interpreting at that time, was having a feeling or a sense of disappointment when it comes to a particular relationship in our lives, whether it was, a romantic, a family, a friend, a career relationship, but one that was draining us and one that needed to be let go. So we may have been experiencing a bit of, again, with this 5, we may have been experiencing a lot of changes when it comes to our relationships and around our emotions as well. But, goodness, here comes another one. But we might have been feeling a bit discouraged around those changes when it comes to our emotions, and the instability when it comes to the relationships within our life. We might be feeling as though we are almost at the whim of the universe, which in some cases we are, but we have a bit more control, again, because this King energy is present. So one thing that I always say is that when a card shows up, we can flip the card. So we can flip this reverse energy to an upright energy, where we do actually feel, just like this King of Coins, we feel secure within our relationships. We feel confident in our emotional state. We feel in control of it. We feel mature in our emotions. Now, this can happen by us again, kind of again stepping into that magician energy, accepting our responsibility, accepting the power that we have within our situations. But again, with this contrast of the yellow and the blue, it's like while the sky is like this, sort of constant uh constant space, right? Like it is simply there. The water beneath us is constantly flowing and changing and moving with the tides, right? So I'm being drawn to the water being brought to the top. So we can work on um again sort of like rolling with the punches when it comes to our relationships and emotions, being able to control what we can actually control and to release or surrender the things that we have no way of controlling. Um, and that is what will sort of help us to feel a bit more secure when it comes to our, excuse me, when it comes to our relationships. I truly do apologize, guys. When it comes to our relationships and our emotional states, okay? Now, let's finally pull from the sword suit to find out where we are mentally, as well as where we are in terms of handling any sort of obstacles or challenges or conflicts that may arise. All right. Let's see. What swords card is related to us for this past week? Okay. We had the Four of Swords last time, so we did have the encouragement to rest and recharge, and this time we have the Page of Swords in the reverse. So with the page energies, hold on one second, let me get a sip of juice. With the page energies, these are energies of immaturity, more so just in the sense of like experience, right? Like not having a lot of experience with a particular thing or a particular aspect, or at a given time. Now with the Page of Swords, when it's right side up, this is about having a sense of drive and a sense of what's the word? A sense of goodness, I'm sorry. It's about feeling almost ready to fight, but without necessarily preparing for the fight. It's about, like, how, like, in a movie or in a show, there will be one character that's like, let me at him. Like, I'm ready. Goodness gracious. Like, let's go. I got him. This, that, and the third. But they're also someone that, like, hasn't necessarily trained as long as the other characters, or hasn't really come into their powers as much as the other characters, or something like that. Like, it's kind of like that sort of energy. Now, with this coming up in the reverse, for me, this is actually indicating that some of us may be realizing that we have been trying to tackle certain problems within our life with a bit of immaturity, with a bit of lack of strategy. And then also, this is indicating to me that for some of us, we may have just been feeling a bit of fear and uncertainty with our ability to. And let me check my microphone. We might be feeling a bit of uncertainty in our ability to tackle any sort of problem. We might be feeling, again, that sense of fear. Now, again, last week we were talking about just being able to start to feel safe. And what I'm seeing is that with this week, we are starting to feel more safe, but we also recognize that there are things that we need to do in order to protect us as much as possible so that we can go forth and whatever may be trying to attack us, we can defend ourselves against it. Now, excuse me. Now, with this Page of Swords in reverse, again, so sorry. Again, some of us might be feeling as though we're ready to fight, but we're afraid of what we're up against. Now, what I will say in order to provide some sort of encouragement, I want you to remember that just as the Bible says, right? No weapon formed against us shall prosper. We are divinely assigned to this side of the fight. We have been assigned to this army of light and love and joy and peace. We have been assigned to this side of the war. Now, because we are powered by the Creator, because we are powered by the source of light, the source of love, the source of joy, and we know through experiences, we know through the observations that we make that light will always overpower the darkness. When light is present, no matter how dark it is, if a light is present, it will illuminate and it will disperse the darkness. So I want to encourage you just to know that if you're someone that is a part of my collective, if you're someone that is actually resonating with these messages and you are, listening and taking heed to this, know that God has prepared you. Know that God has truly believed in you to put you on this side of the fight. And we just have to, again, do our part to keep ourselves connected to God and to keep ourselves secure within our spirituality, within our calling of bringing light to this world. Okay? So that's what I'm getting with the basis of this therapy session. So let's go ahead and just recap really quickly. So we are stepping into our personal power. We are recognizing that we have more control and more power than we have ever realized. We have the ability to truly make things happen in our lives. We don't have to simply just wait around and see what is given to us. We can go and make or even take what it is that we see for ourselves. Now, we do also need to work on and establish our spiritual protection. We need to keep ourselves safe spiritually so that we can overcome and survive any sort of negative or harmful attacks against us. We are stepping into a sense of security and a sense of surety when it comes to our resources and our material gains. We are feeling or coming into the feeling of knowing that we are taken care of and knowing that we can actually take care of ourselves and that we do have our stuff together, while though we are working on gaining this sense of surety and security around our emotional states and around our relationships. We are trying to learn how to, again, control what we can actually control and release and surrender any sort of desire to control what is beyond our control. Okay? That was a lot of controls. And then finally, we are learning that while it may be scary to challenge and go against the negative entities or the negative thoughts that may be present, we are recognizing that we can move with a sense of strategy and actually be prepared mentally for, the fight that we are engaging in. Excuse me again. So that is what I'm receiving from the tarot cards. I do hope that this is resonating with you so far. And this is definitely resonating with me. I can definitely relate to all of these energies. And that's why I always need to do this every week, just so that I can get that validation and that confirmation that I'm not crazy, okay? I see what I'm going through, and Spirit does too. Now, just for a quick sponsor break, this episode is sponsored by me. And I would like to let you know, if you are interested in a personal reading, I am offering 50% off on all of my services for as long as I want. And if you use the code HOOKUP, HOOKUP, all one word, all caps, on my website, attention2intention.com, that's the number 2 intention.com, you can get 50% off on any reading, and they're great. And also, if you're interested in learning how to read tarot for yourself or even for others, I am hosting an intuitive tarot reading course, which will be starting next Monday, October the 14th, 2024 at 9 p.m. Eastern Time. We will be meeting for about 5 weeks every Monday until November the 11th, and we will be going over how to identify and use your clairsenses, how to identify and connect with your higher power, as well as, of course, the breaking down of the major arcana and the minor arcana cards, and how to even derive different sort of context and information from other sources. Okay, so if you're interested, again, you can register on my website, attention2intention.com. But registration's $33 on the website, but you can get in for free. Okay, you can get in for free if you use the code BESTIES, all caps, BESTIES, okay, when you are registering for the course, and it will make it free for you. Okay, I really hope that if you're interested that you register, and I hope to see you there on Monday. Okay, and last sponsor message is I am selling guided journals. I am an author, a self-published author of guided journals that go over different aspects of shadow work. There is a general shadow work journal. There is an inner child journal. There is an inner teen journal, a money journal, and a grief and loss journal. I did show them last week in the last episode, and I don't really want to get up and just show them right now, just because I do want to continue with the message. But if you are interested, find me on the TikTok shop. I will put my information in the description box below. But they are also available on Amazon. You can search my name, Ishani S. Way, and they will come up. Or you can search the title. It is called the 30 Days of Talking to My series. And each journal is 30 days of talking to my shadow, my inner child, my inner teen, my money, and my lost loved one. So if you're interested, go ahead and search them up. Or they're available on my website too, attention2intention.com. Okay? Okay. So now that that's out of the way, thank you so much for listening to that. Let's go ahead and get into the oracle cards. So we are going to start off with the soul's journey. Let's go ahead and find out What lessons is the collective's souls learning at this time? What lesson or lessons are our souls learning at this time? Check the mic one more time. Boop. Okay, perfect. We should be good. All right, let's see. I was hoping that this episode would be shorter than last week, but it's looking like it might not be. I've always been a fan of 1 hour podcasts, but I don't know. Hopefully you are too. Or you must be if you're watching. Okay, let's first find out. Ooh, okay. We have discipline. And the affirmation says, I can accomplish what I set my mind to. This is definitely resonating with the magician energy for me. So we are learning again about the power that we hold within ourselves. When it comes to and then we have on the bottom honesty. I can't always expect the truth from others, but I can expect it from myself. Now, this is bringing me to this King of Cups in reverse energy. So we are learning how to exercise our discipline, especially our self-discipline. It's about having certainty that if we show up and if we do our part, the outcome is certain. The result is inevitable, right? And with this honesty card, and I do want to mention as well that so far these have come up in the right side up, so that's great. But with the honesty card, this is again focusing on, just as the affirmation says, focusing on what we can control. So we can always be sure that we will be honest with ourselves, but we cannot guarantee that everyone else will be honest with us. So again, we are and even with both of these cards being purple, this is calling on the crown chakra energy. So it's about having this sense of mental clarity around our discipline and our honesty, being able to discern, being able to discern when we need to exercise our self-discipline and when also we need to recognize when we're being honest with ourselves. All right, those are the lessons. Next, we're going to do the angel message. Let's see. What message from angels? Oh, goodness. What message from the angels do we need for the collective? What message from the angels do we need for the collective? Okay. When a deck acts like that, it just means that you don't need to shuffle that much. The message is ready. Ooh, we have transformation. Okay. So again, with this 5 energy, the angels are letting us know that we are truly transforming. We are making changes in our life. Things are shifting as we speak, as we sit here and listen. Things are transforming. Things are metamorphosizing. Things are going to be different. We just have to be ready for it. We have to be certain that what is to come is for our highest good. The things that confirmation burp, the things that we have had placed in our hearts that we aspire to, that we have always set our minds to, things are shifting to bring those things to life, okay? That's a great piece of encouragement. I know for myself, and I'm sure it is for someone else as well. Ooh, this deck is just so schmexy to shuffle. My goodness, I just love that sound. I just love that sound. Ooh, there we go. All right, let's find out from the Cosmic Journey. What message do we need? Now, this is coming up in the reverse. Ooh, we have out of the mess comes elegant order. Now, with this coming up in the reverse, this is saying to me that, and ooh, with this coming up right after transformation too, out of the mess comes elegant order. So we are shifting out of the mess to elegant order, right? This is what is transforming. But the thing is, with this coming up in the reverse, this is saying to me that there's going to be parts where we might feel a bit discouraged. We might feel a bit like, what the crap is going on? And we might start to almost falter, like with this page of swords in reverse. We might start to falter when it comes to our courage and our like full faith that things are going to actually work out, because it might start to seem as though things are falling apart. But again, things are transforming. When a butterfly becomes a I was gonna say when a butterfly becomes a caterpillar. When a caterpillar becomes a butterfly, that caterpillar has to literally turn into mush in order to form itself into the butterfly. Now, I'm sure as that process is happening, I'm sure there's at least one caterpillar that was like, yo, what the F is about to happen? Like, yo, my legs don't exist right now. What is going on? So, but even with, or even through that mess, right? Even through that sludge comes out this beautiful, magnificent creature, right? This thing of beauty. So we just have to sort of like stick through it. We have to persevere through that mess, okay? But be sure and know for certain that, again, everything is going to fall into place the way that it's supposed to, okay? And now finally, let's pull from the Sacred Creators Oracle. Let's find out what message do we need from the Sacred Creator and for the Sacred Creators within ourselves. Ah! Okay. All right. Boom. Boom. And we have also in the reverse, but your soul shines. Your soul shines. This is what I was talking about when it comes to the side of the fight that we're on. We are on the light side, okay? We have been assigned to this side of the fight. We are the light side, okay? Now, with this coming up in the reverse, there might be times where we have felt as though, you know, we are unworthy or that we are undeserving. We might feel as though, you know, we're not as beautiful as we are. We might feel as though we aren't as attractive as we actually are. We might have felt as though people don't see our worth the way that they ought to, or that we aren't as valuable as we actually are. Now, I want you to know that all of those things are not true. All of those things, we are light, we are worthy, we are valuable, we are a source of peace and love for other people in this world. And there are people who value us. There are people who see that we are deserving and are willing to give. This is going to be something that we're going to have to work on, you know, feeling or knowing within ourselves the confidence that we are shining, that we are, again, that source of light in this world, okay? And it's going to come where we feel secure. Notification confirmation. We're going to feel sure that we are shining and that we are a beacon of light in this world. But we just have to do our part to, again, protect ourselves so that we can know with certainty that we are safe enough to shine. Okay? notification confirmation. So that is this episode. I do hope that this resonated with you. This was great for me, as always. I'm gonna keep coming every week. But I appreciate you if you stuck around and watched to the end. Thank you so much. If again you are interested in any of the offers that I have, check them out down in the description below, whether you are on a podcast platform or on YouTube. Subscribe or follow on whatever platform that you are listening to this on. And again, leave your comments. I would definitely love to see your feedback, to hear that these messages are resonating with you. I'm very glad that this found you if it did. And I wish you all the best. So thank you so much. Have a good one, y'all. I wish you health, wealth, and happiness. Peace. Goodness.